So looking at my magazine front cover, what strengths can you notice?
Alright, so initially I can see the red text, it says soap store here, and it contrasts well, like over the white background. And obviously I can see the black shadow on the red text, and it obviously gives it a more dimension. Obviously I can see the web address there, so it informs me, the reader, of where I can go to see more content about the sub uh, sub stories. I can see obviously here you've emphasized the price really well, only 50p, which is over the yellow background, and so this is good for me, the audience, because I'm a low class man. I'm only 17 and I can't really afford something like more expensive than this, so that's good. Obviously, I see that you use separators here, the yellow and maybe even the blue blocks there. It separates the different sub stories, so it informs the reader of the different stories. You've added the sort of titles there on top of the pictures to emphasize what the subheading sub stories are about. You've always also used sort of a red background behind the writings. It looks like smeared blood, so that might connote like what the story is about, maybe danger or death. You've also used different colors for the stars there. That suggests like star appeal. Obviously used a slash separator, which is different from the other sub-stories, which is also unique.
So now that you've mentioned the strengths, what weaknesses can you find?
So initially I can see that the barcode is in the top right corner, and I think it's a very random position to put it in. So as an improvement, I suggest you put it over here next to the social media links. Also I can see throughout for the subheadings, the titles are not consistent. I'm talking about the fonts and the different colors, so it's not really consistent and looks very unorganized. Also, I can see that you have covered the images, the sub-images, with the titles, and I think that's very unprofessional because it covers the images, and so it wouldn't really be able to inform us, the reader, of who's going to be in the story. And also, I think the color combination is a bit too much. Like, as an improvement, you can just use like a simple color scheme, like maybe just a blue and yellow, because it contrasts really well.
Now we're moving on to my poster. What strengths can you notice?
So initially I can see that you've used a consistent use of blue background, blue text there and there, which is very simple and seems more professional as it's not too messy. You use low-key lighting for the model and the main image, which kind of connotes a mysterious story behind it. Also, I like the use of the props, like the shovels, which kind of collaborates well with the red background, which again presents danger or blood or death. And you used a very straightforward cliche statement there: all is fair in love and war, and that simply informs the reader of what the story is going to be about.
And now what weaknesses have you found?
Alright, so firstly I can see that the QR code is positioned in a random position, and I think it doesn't look that structured. So as an improvement, I would suggest you put either in the bottom right corner or even right here next to the Twitter logo. Also, I saw that the Twitter logo and social media link is located in the left corner. However, the Facebook one is located in the opposite position, so it looks very messy and unorganized. So as an improvement, I suggest you move both of them in the same location. Furthermore, I can see that the image is being covered by the two texts here, the writing, so it disrupts the whole image overall.
So what strengths can you notice about my front page magazine?
Well, I think you've used really good colours here. You've used a range of colours, so you've used like yellow, blue, red, and it really brings the magazine together as a whole. I really like the way you've outlined the price, so it's only 50p, so it's like cheap and affordable towards the audience. The different images to like demonstrate what soap opera is what's happening in each soap opera. So you have Coronation Street and you have an image to show what's happening. You have Waterloo Road, you have an image to show what's happening, and that's really like done well as a whole. I also like the way you've used a gradient here as a background for your main soap opera, the writings. So it really it really brings it together and makes it look really professional as a whole.
So now that you've outlined the strengths of my front page, what weaknesses can you find?
Well, straight away, I can see that you've used soap opera emblems for Coronation Street, Amadale, etc. But you haven't used it for Waterloo Road, so I think you should use it for Waterloo Road so then you can make it consistent throughout. Also, I think that instead of using all the images, like 3 or 4, no, like 6 images, you should like only concentrate on one image for your main soap opera, the writings. So you should make this the main topic for the audience to see, so then they can concentrate on this aspect rather than the other soap operas.
What strength can you find in my poster?
Well, automatically I see 2 characters that reflect each other, and they have a shovel, and this like foreshadows the bad things that are about to happen within the soap opera. Also, the picture itself correlates with the writing up here. So all is fair in love and war, and this just ultimately shows that how love leads to war, and how it has that correlation, positive correlation of war. And also I think that the writings across the 2 characters initially show what the title is and what the show is all about to the audience. And also, like below the title, the writings, it has weekdays 8 p.m. so it allows the audience to know when the show is going to appear, the soap opera, and what time and what channel, so then they're aware of how they can watch the show itself.
What weaknesses can you find in this poster?
Well, as soon as I look at the poster, I think it's really good. However, I think that you should make the convergence, the social networks used, you should make it more clear, because as you can see here, there's no link to the extra content of the soap opera. Also, I think that it's kind of plain in some areas, so like as you can see here, here and here, and here, you can see that it's kind of plain, and it's, you know, not to the audience's liking as a whole. I think that you should maybe include extra content maybe throughout the thing, so then it makes the audience want to watch the soap opera. Also, I think that maybe you can include a border, like an extra border, so another colour around the poster, so then it makes it more eye-catching towards the audience, towards the target audience. And yeah, that's about it really.
So what strengths can you notice about my front cover?
I like the masthead first of all, because I think it's eye-catching to the audience, and the way it has soapstar, it's appealing, so audiences are able to understand what they're looking for. I like the cover stories you've used, and the way you've got the logos of each soap opera, so audiences can know what to expect from you know, each episode that they're watching. For example, you used Coronation Street here, and you used Emmerdale here as well, EastEnders. I also like the way you used the price and how you put it in bold with like a stroke effect on the outside to show, you know, to make it stand out. And the price is cheap as well, so you know, because it's aimed at a lower class, like the working class, people are able to like afford it and buy it. I like the way you used the writings here. It's the name of your trailer, and it's big, it's eye-catching, and I like how it's the same effect that you've used at the end of your trailer for your point of call. The blood also can connote how a death, or maybe, you know, the black could connote something bad, evil.
And now what disadvantages can you find?
I think overall this magazine front cover is really good. The only criticism I think you could take on board for your next issue is probably the barcode. I feel like it's in the middle of nowhere. Maybe put it like at the corner, so you know, because it's only for scanning. It's not a main part of the magazine, so maybe just put the barcode at in a corner or something. And also Waterloo Road, maybe have like the actual logo for the soap opera rather than type it out. And yeah, that's what I can think of.
This is my poster. What strengths can you find?
I really like this poster, mainly because of the main image that you've got here. I think it's so like eye-catching, and these are two main characters for your trailer, and I think it's really important that you have them, you know, in your poster, which you've done, and I just really like it. I like the way you've used lighting for effect, so the way you've got the shadow of Chloe on one side and you've got a shadow of Abby on the other. And the shovels as props, they're really good as well, because you know, it links with your trailer and it works well with it, so audience can, you know, put those together. You've got consistency with the name as well, like your actual logo for the ridings, and that's good. And you've got a quote, you've got a slogan, and you've got the day which is on, which is what you need for the convention, so I think overall it's a good poster.
Now, what weaknesses can you find?
Overall I think it's a good poster, but the only weakness I'd say is you've got the social media logo here with the actual social media link. I'd say do the same for the Facebook one as well, because you've got the Twitter one and say the Facebook one. Maybe move the Facebook one here and move the barcode down. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
So what advantages can you find with this magazine front cover?
I like the pictures, and it's very intriguing to what the soap is about, and good use of titles, so it makes you want to look in the magazine and see what the soap is actually going to be about. Good use of colour. I like the logo and like name of the magazine is really clear. Yeah.
And now, what weaknesses can you find with my magazine front cover?
So I think that the font should be the same. Like these fonts are all different. I think it would just look more professional and more consistent if they were all the same font. And I don't like the big star saying only 50p. I think that should just be like a different shape, because loads of magazines use that, and I think it's just a bit typical of a magazine. And yeah.
So now that you've looked at my front cover, what advantages can you find in my poster?
So I like the clear heading. You get like straight away the key information about when the programme's on, when it's on. You've got the good use of logos and good like slogan, caption, all is fair and nothing more. I like that both characters are directly looking at you. That makes like the reader feel addressed, and it adds intrigue while they're holding shovels, and yeah, makes you want to watch the programme.
And now, what weaknesses can you find, and what possible improvements should I make?
So after watching the trailer, I'm not sure about the background as black. I can understand why it's been done, but I personally think maybe the graveyard or something else to add to the storyline should be at the back, because it's not quite clear what the storyline is about. It adds intrigue, but I'm not sure about what the story could be about, why they're holding the shovels, and reorganise where the like little logos are for Facebook and Twitter.
Strengths can you notice about my front page magazine?
Well, I like the way you've used different images, and they're all been taken in different backgrounds, which I think clearly connotes that there are different like equilibriums within the magazine. I also like the thematic issues that you've brought into the cover lines. For example, miscarriage disaster, which I think could appeal to your target audience. I also like the background, just behind the main image. I think it connotes, you know, a dystopian equilibrium, and so it clearly connotes that like the main aim is to the main aim of the trailer is to entice the reader, and to clearly help them connote that that the trailer is it's not a happy trailer, if you know what I mean. So there's going to be murder involved and revenge and stuff like that, which leads to a character's downfall.
Alright, now what weaknesses can you find with my front page magazine?
Well, from what I've noticed, like there's not really a consistency of the yellow bar. So, like for example, here at the top, and I think you've put too much on the main, like at the front cover. I think you should just put images but have less words, because it'll drive the audience away. It wouldn't make them want to read on. If you know what I mean? So yeah, I think that's something to improve on.
So now that you have talked about the strengths of my magazine, what strengths can you find with my poster?
Okay, well, I like the fact that you've allowed the people you took the pictures of to use like shovels. I think it clearly connotes that there's something bad about to happen in your trailer, and I like the way you've like allowed them to wear like their own clothes, because it's like it gives the sense that like this is real. It's not fake. It's not staged. I think that allows the audience, like it adds a lot of dramatic effect towards the audience. I like the way that you've allowed each character to have a set of rings, which could suggest that they're married, and could clearly connote that the narrative is about them at war, fighting over like the same guy. Yeah.
So now that you've outlined the strengths, what weaknesses can you find with my promotional poster?
Well, personally, I just don't like the fact that your point was it? It's logo. Yeah, the logo. It's like at the top corner. I think it should be like down here. I think that you should structure like all your logos properly. To be honest, because it looks like you just put it anywhere. I know this is part of your point of call, but personally, I just don't like the brush effect, because it looks like it's just overlapping with other images. And yeah, other than that, I like it. So.